It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
At Rolls Rolla, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
It's the Pete Sousa Show coming to you live from the Alico building. 21st floor in Waco, Texas. We are presented by Slovacics, of course. Go see my man Ray. When everybody tells me that they go to West and or anybody, and maybe they went somewhere else and they didn't go to Slovacics, I get like a fire in my belly. One, because it just feels like a betrayal, because anytime you stop in West, you got to go see Ray. And two, because I'm disappointed for people. You got to get to Slovacics. It's the best of all time. Also, of course, Socorro Family Ford. D1, Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers. It's all good over here. We are so happy to be with you again. Look, we're going to start off. We got a couple things. I had some things planned. We got ESPN's Paul Biancardi going to join us in the second segment. We're going to talk about college basketball recruiting, and we're going to talk about freshmen and the NIL and the big picture of college recruiting going forward. And there's a lot to look forward to in the conversation with Paul Biancardi because he is all things college basketball as an analyst, and also he is all things college basketball. When you talk about recruiting, there's nobody better. He's the director of recruiting for ESPN, and we're lucky to get him in between the games that he calls. So I'm looking forward to that conversation with Paul. Not looking forward to Saturday night. I just got news from somebody on the Baylor staff that Baylor's game, and this is exclusive. All right, you're hearing this here first, but it'll be out in public a little bit later on. Baylor's tip against Houston on Saturday night. Scotty, guess what time? 9:05. 9:05, baby. So whatever you're into, I think at Baylor, right? We get the Dr. Peppers going. There's going to be a lot of Dr. Peppers going. I'm actually pumped because I have a game at West Virginia at I think it's 5. So I'll be ready to watch that game, the Baylor game. So I'm actually pumped about that. I got a game at Texas Tech tomorrow. I'm so pumped to talk to Grant McCaslin tomorrow before the game, former Baylor assistant, possible coach of the year. It looks like Kelvin Sampson has that wrapped up, but I don't know that anybody in America has done a better coaching job than Grant McCaslin. You look at what he's done all over the nation. Everywhere he's been, he's won. Everywhere. From JUCO, right, to the Big 12. And I think it's almost time for him to break through. And when I say break through, I'm talking like Sweet 16, Elite 8. Texas Tech, they have the resources. We saw it in 2019. They went all the way to the championship game and lost by about an eyelash. I think that this year it could be a possible situation where we see Texas Tech and Grant McCaslin go deep into March. And JT Toppin is a huge reason why. I'm looking forward to having a chance to see him again tomorrow. Cowboys news, it just keeps getting worse. And the reason, let's go off the field for this. Jimmy Johnson retires from Fox. That's I don't know if it's good or bad for Cowboys fans, but it's like a public thread, like a thread of victory that is woven through society. Jimmy Johnson on that set at Fox Sports is a reminder of the good times for Cowboys fans. I mean, of course, his work with the University of Miami and even Oklahoma State before that, but won national championships at Miami. Had a run with the Dolphins, got him to the playoffs, but nothing, and Jimmy Johnson would tell you this. He would actually now, apparently, in his older age, tell you that there's nothing like being an analyst on Fox Sports, those are the greatest moments of his life. But I don't think anything compares to him winning the Super Bowls with the Cowboys because of the climb. What does Miley Cyrus say? It's all about the climb, and the climb is so important. I'm reading a book right now. It's about Bill Belichick. It's by Dave Halberstam. What the heck is the name of the book? It's called The Making of a Coach. It's amazing. I'm not reading it. I'm listening to it. I don't mean to lie to you guys. The Education of a Coach. And one of the main things it talks about when it talks about Parcells and Belichick is that everybody's kind of on the same page. Like here at Rogue Media, right? We're on the come up. So we're pretty much all on the same page, right? Like everybody's ascending together. We're going for the greater good. Now, when Scotty blows up and the Scotty Swingler show starts making like $1 million a year, right?
Speak it into existence, Pete. Manifest
No. So when the Scotty Swingler show starts to make $1 million a year, and Scotty gets, becomes a little bit of a diva, right? Because he's big time. And all of a sudden, there's feathers being ruffled around here because now the Pete Sousa show is doing just as good as Scotty's show. So now we got an issue, and now Mike's over there at the backyard, and Zach has got like a couple thousand people every morning, right? Like when First Take goes on location. And now everybody's looking for theirs, right? Like, how do you handle success is the biggest thing, right? So in this book, Scotty, I'm sorry to drag you into this.
I'm just like, wait, you actually have a show. Zach Owen actually has a show. I don't have a show.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
it's called Please Bear With Me. It comes back Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. When Please Bear With Me is going to kick ass. No, but so it talks about the ascent. And when everybody's on the ascent, everybody's kind of, on the same page. But when you start to win and you win championships and you win trophies, things get different. With Belichick and Parcells, it got a little different, although they did find a way to coexist for much longer than Jimmy and Jerry. Jimmy told a great story yesterday on Colin Cowherd because Colin had him on upon his retirement. Yeah. And I'd never heard Jimmy say this. He said the first couple years, Jerry was trying to pay off that $140 million loan that he got to buy the Cowboys. He was always trying to make money. Once we won the Super Bowl, and it was very clear that he was making money, and not only was the debt paid off, he became a real pain in the ass and became involved with that. So it's an interesting situation where the coexisting, and I 100% blame it on Jerry Jones. I mean, Jerry Jones, it's tough because you kind of dance with who brung you,
Yeah.
Like Jerry Jones did bring that magical Super Bowl situation. I mean, it was a flurry, 3, right? And I don't know how many years, but from 92 to 97, right?
I think old school Cowboys fans would tell you that was built on the back of what Tom Landry had done for decades prior.
Oh, stop. That is, Scotty,
You don't have to believe that. But
I don't believe it's not true.
I wasn't around, so I don't have an opinion.
No,
I don't have an opinion.
No, Jimmy Johnson executed 51 trades.
Jimmy Johnson. I'm not taking away from Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm more trying to take away from
Jerry.
Yeah,
but there was I see. And you could say, because Tom Landry he embodied pro football and winning in pro football and success and Mount Rushmore type stuff. There's no question about that. And the way that Jerry Jones handled that whole situation was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was a public relations nightmare. Yeah, we've talked about that, and our boy Bear the Truth has given us some context, which is always cool.
Pretty sure he arranged that meeting for
at the taco place. Yeah, but Jimmy Johnson leaving is a bummer, and I there's 2 things I think of being in this area in Texas. One, it makes me sad that it does, and I'm an Eagles fan, but that again, like another component to the success of the Cowboys is kind of now falling, just kind of taking a step back. And it's less and less the success of the Cowboys. Now they just, if they're not careful in the next couple of years, they're just going to be an organization that sucks. Like, if you think they're a joke now, it could get it could get worse. It really could. Because they just need a solid year. And the draft is coming up, and we'll talk NFL as we get closer to that. One thing I do, and this is going to rile you up, Scotty. So this morning I was looking because I was thinking about the draft, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Sawyer Robertson. Right now, for the 2026 draft, where do you guess Sawyer Robertson is ranked of all the quarterbacks?
So I'm not going to talk about my feelings and where I would rank him. We're just talking about by the pundits. I would guess Klubnik's high. Beck is probably pretty high, even though I think he's overrated. I bet Sawyer for next year's draft is like 6th or 7th.
40.
Stop!
I was shocked.
In what freaking world?
Right now, NFL draft buzz.
Like if you had said 10, 12, I was kind of ready for that. 40?
Yeah, I'll give you some of the names. I'll give you the top. I'll give you the top 11. Okay, Arch Manning.
Fair.
The kid Nico from Tennessee.
No.
Drew Aller.
No.
Lenoris Sellers.
Maybe.
Garrett Nussmeier. Cade Klubnik.
I wasn't a Garrett Nussmeier guy until he beat Baylor pretty soundly in that bowl game.
Cade Klubnik. Jackson Arnold.
No.
Who's come, by the way, Jackson Arnold will be here.
I know.
In that first game.
Sawyer will outplay him.
Auburn's quarterback. That's an opportunity, right? I mean,
it is. National stage, big time, yeah.
But there's other names. Carson Beck is 10.
He's terrible. Carson Beck's terrible.
He is terrible. Haynes King is 11.
What?
Connor Wegman is 12. But here's the thing.
All these guys are – wait, okay. Most of those names I'm like, I have my own feelings, but okay. Haynes King is not an NFL prospect.
Avery Johnson is 20. I'm just jumping down now. Jaden Daniels is 16.
Wait, who?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels plays for the Commanders. Is there another?
No. The other one. I'm sorry. Jalen Daniels.
Oh, okay.
So Sawyer is at 40. And I am shocked by this. Now, I will look forward to.
Surely that will be updated before August.
I would hope so, yeah. But this was last updated on February 22nd, 2025.
Okay, but we know this. I know I've said this on my little episode last week. Like, he has the highest returning QBR of any quarterback in the country.
I think he's well, here's the point of this. Right now, he's 40th, okay, on this, Mamma Jamma right here, this site. But it is, I mean, I've gone to NFL Draft Buzz many times before. and he's 40th. I think by the end of next season, he'll be top 10. Easy. Could be top 5.
Agreed. Yeah.
I do. I believe that.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that again. There are 4 dudes who had a higher QBR than him last season, and they're all about to get drafted right now. The 4 guys with a higher QBR than him this last season were Dylan Gabriel, Jackson Dart, Curtis Rourke, and Cam Ward.
Yeah.
So, like, what are we talking about here? What are we? And he didn't even play his best football this past season, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think, they said the biggest jump is from year 1 to year 2. This was his first. He wasn't even the full season starter, but after week 2, he was.
Yeah.
The jump he's about to take from year 1 as the guy to year 2?
Yeah.
Come on, Pete.
Look, I'm just saying.
I'm not even convinced he's like a very great NFL prospect, which is why you said maybe top 5. I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
But he's better than most of these cats. He is.
I agree. And the good news is, right, there's so much left to be done. I mean, you've got a whole season to play his way to the top of that. I don't even want to sit here as a guy who's Baylor adjacent, and I'm always pulling for the Bears. Like, show some respect. It doesn't even matter. There's a whole season to play.
Yeah.
Honestly, Baylor fans should thank their lucky stars that he's rated that low, because if he was rated higher, who knows what the offseason could have been like financially. Really.
I thought there were people chasing him anyway.
Julie Hayes, who's my buddy over at KWTX, and the reason I say this is because Julie is not like a hardcore football fan.
Okay.
But she asked me when I was there last week filming Inside the 12, like, how'd they keep Sawyer Robertson?
He got a pay bump.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, do you know?
No, but
What do you know?
I know that other programs were interested in him, and he.
How much?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Okay.
I don't know that.
Do you remember last year when I told you that who was it? Ohio State's quarterback was offered $4 million by Baylor and he turned it down?
Yeah.
Do you believe that's true, by the way?
I don't know if I believe
Come on, you don't believe it?
No.
Okay.
Wait, didn't DeQuan Finn just get $1 million?
Yeah. What's the guy's name, by the way? So let's get that right. Ohio State's quarterback.
Will Howard?
Will Howard, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
DeQuan Finn got $1 million, right?
I don't know for sure,
So,
yeah.
I think DeQuan Finn got $1 million to
Okay.
transfer here. So I would think Sawyer's making at least that much.
Oh.
If not
If
twice
he's
as
not,
much.
yeah, I mean,
If not twice as much.
hey, all the good guy and spirituality stuff aside, Sawyer's Mr. Nice Guy. Let's get this dude paid. Like
Agreed.
He should be
Agreed.
He should be getting $2 million plus.
Agreed.
And if you look at the landscape and what guys are being paid,
And here's what I know. I know Mac Rhodes gave a brilliant answer to Matt Mosley on Mosley's show last week when Mosley said something to the effect of, this Rob Wright guy has been pretty good. How do you make sure he stays at Baylor? Are we going to have to give him a pay bump? And Mac said, we are going to do what we have to do to keep Rob Wright at Baylor. Period.
that's my guy.
Which means, sign the check.
That's my guy, man.
Sign the check. So if they're going to do that for Rob Wright, who's
Yeah.
going to be one of the best point guards in the country next year,
Yeah.
you would think for one of the best quarterbacks in the country, the attitude's the same.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure Sawyer has what he needs to be a Baylor player. Amen.
I'm extremely excited for this Baylor football season. And
I am too, bro.
And I'm starting to get more and more optimistic.
And here's what you pointed out. I want to expand your point about the Auburn matchup in week 1. Those first 4 weeks that we've talked about being such a gauntlet for Baylor as a whole, with Auburn, SMU, and then Arizona State in the first 4 weeks, that's also proving ground. And if Sawyer goes out and outduels Jackson Arnold, outduels Sam Leavitt, outduels Kevin Jennings, all those names that national people know, by the way, then the rest of the season is just stacking on top, right?
Yeah.
Anything else is gravy. If Arizona State comes into Waco and Sam Leavitt, you saw Sam Leavitt's like very hyped up right now for Heisman talk, because
he was ranked 10th on this list.
Outstanding quarterback.
Yeah.
If Sawyer just outduels him, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit. Also, can I connect Cowboys and Baylor Bears real quick?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, sure. I'm looking at
Number
this
one
list.
linebacker in the 2026 class is who? Do you know this?
No, tell me.
Cooper Witten, son of Jason Witten.
No.
And Baylor's on his final list.
Wow.
Baylor has a real shot
Who is the guy?
at Cooper Witten.
And I got one more point I want to make before we go to Paul Biancardi. Is he in the waiting room? No?
No.
Okay. Who is the guy who, who's going to Connor Witten's house or Cooper Witten's house? I mean, obviously Dave Aranda, but who goes with him?
Yeah, for that guy, Dave goes.
But who's the guy with the charisma that's going to get him there?
Currently, the two guys on staff who are getting the most recruits are Matt Pallage and Keenan Hall.
Matt Pallage, that's great to hear.
Pallage and Keenan Hall.
Pallage is the man.
Pallage and Keenan Hall have excelled.
That's great to hear because
recruiting.
Matt Pallage, if you guys remember, he was promoted to defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
They had a real bad year when he was DC, and Dave took the reins kind of back from him, but it was kind of co-DC.
But that's why, I don't know if you remember this, a few months ago, Sam Houston looking for a new head coach. Pallage was rumored as the new head guy at Sam Houston. And a lot of people were like...
He played at Sam Houston, I think.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys were like, wait, why? Because it appears as if, he got a promotion and then kind of got promoted. And it's because he is an excellent recruiter.
That's awesome
he is
to hear.
So good on the road.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when we do those meetings and those guys come in, like the coordinators to talk to us before broadcast, he's magnetic. So it makes perfect sense.
He's
so cool.
Keenan Hall, there was a lot of buzz about 2 weeks ago on Twitter.
And Keenan Hall is a running back.
Yes,
coach, right? Yeah.
There was a lot of rumors that Keenan Hall was being courted by UT and some other big schools this offseason, and Baylor is perhaps paying him a little bit more to stick around as well because he's also
I think that's another thing,
recruiter.
Scotty, that we haven't talked about enough as I jump in and cut you off because I'm so excited.
No, please do.
Baylor, we look at the brain drain with the basketball team, right? With Brooks leaving, John Jacobs leaving, and guys years past, like Baylor football did a pretty good job of keeping all of the pieces that moved that puzzle into place last year, right? Didn't they? Spav stays, obviously.
Yeah. Keeping Spav to me was might be sacrilege. I think keeping Spav was just as important, if not more, than keeping Sawyer.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he transformed that team. Yeah. I think that's a fair reflection on this past season, Pete. But I do think a common criticism of Dave Aranda, which is fair, is how many coordinators do you have to fire before you start being successful?
Yeah,
because he has now fired two OCs.
Yeah, somebody
and 3
else was
DCs.
saying that too.
Like he's running through coordinators, and so the success with Spavs is good. But like, remember, year one of Jeff Grimes was a Big 12 championship.
Yeah,
and then it fell off. So let's see it again with Spav. Let's see it again with Dave calling plays. By the way, I think Dave calling plays just makes sense.
100%.
There's a lot of offensive coaches who are head coaches who call plays.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd let anyone else call plays.
No, and I think for what we know, it's going to stay that way, right?
Good.
All right, so Paul messaged us. He's jumping on now, so we'll get with him in a little bit. I want to talk a little about the Mavs. Kyrie Irving, right before we started the show, it was reported by ESPN, so this is not an exclusive. Like the Baylor tip-off time was. Kyrie Irving suffered a season-ending torn ACL in his left knee. Oof. Man, when it gets bad, it gets awful. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I try not to take such a myopic view and not be such a prisoner of the moment, because again, I try to see the big picture with the stuff. I know enough to know that I don't know about everything that's going on with the Mavericks, but right now, it looks awful. I mean, it just looks awful. You had, around Christmas time, two guys who are coming off taking your team to the NBA finals, and why not? What was to tell you they weren't going to make another run? And I saw yesterday, it was a basketball writer, maybe it was Tim McMahon, the Mavericks had come to the conclusion that 5 years from now, Luka was going to be terrible, right? And he just wasn't going to be able to keep up body-wise. And what an assumption. I think one more theory I have with Nico Harrison is that, when you look at what's going on with the Sixers right now, Daryl Morey has to go to Josh Harris and answer to the fact that I convinced you to sign Joel Embiid you had to back up the Brinks truck to sign this dude. Your money, right? And the rest of the ownership group. And Joel Embiid is a disaster, right? I think in the same breath, Nico Harrison looks at that and says, geez, we got this guy coming up in the offseason, Supermax guy. Wow, wouldn't it be a great way to ingratiate myself with the new ownership group to say, hey, you know what? let me help you out here. We don't need to spend all this money on this guy. The stock is dropping. You know, this is a guy who 5 years from now, not going to be someone you want to have as a part of your organization. Certainly not the focal point of your organization. I'm going to do you a solid, save you some money, you know, figure out a way to get this rolling without Luka. And so far, again, there's so much I always say that. I know enough to know that I don't know. But, man, right now it looks pretty bad on the heels of Kyrie Irving. All right, we're going to come back to Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacics. Paul Biancardi in the bullpen. We're going to bring him in, talk about recruiting all over the college landscape, and also get a little basketball analysis, maybe some Big 12 talk with our main man, Paul Biancardi, coming up next. We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. We put every machine through 6,000 rigorous tests to guarantee long-lasting performance. With cutting-edge technology and a commitment to energy efficiency, Gevi makes your life easier, greener, and more convenient. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more. That's gevi.com. Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top-quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com. Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Calling all Marvel fans, get Marvel Unlimited and unlock over 30,000 comics featuring your favorite heroes and iconic stories, all available to read anytime, anywhere. Whether you're into classic tales or the latest adventures, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out. Head to marvel.com/unlimited today and start your Marvel journey now.
And now, back to our show. Hey, Paul Biancardi. Hold on one second. You're muted. So we'll get it straightened out. Can you check on your side, see if you're muted? Anything? Test. You're unmuted on our end. Anything up there, Scotty? It's a great backdrop too. We got to get this guy going here. Okay. Yeah, we're having trouble hearing you right now. Anything on the up there on the screen, Scotty, you think? This is live TV. Well, when we get Paul going, which is going to happen here, even if I have to call him on the horn old school, we're going to talk about college hoops, recruiting. I'm interested to see what he has to say about Cooper Flagg, and the rest of that. What do you think we should do, Scotty? Should I call him?
Yeah, maybe. I think it was his computer.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we'll pop back because I want to effort getting him in this break, so I want to give him a call. We'll be right back on the Pete Sousa Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
It all began with a simple idea, cutting handles off old ski sticks to create better pull-up bars. This sparked the creation of the revolutionary Engels 90 handles. After testing over 70 prototypes with 300 athletes, our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. Using advanced tech fabrics that are 100% waterproof, UV tear, and abrasion-resistant, we ensure lasting durability with hand-sewn double-stitch seams. Our commitment to quality, precision engineering, and customizable options is unmatched. With vertically integrated operations and express shipping, we deliver premier protection at affordable prices. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels, our rebounders improve accuracy, control, and technique in both sports. Built with premium materials for durability and ease of use, they're ideal for training anywhere, anytime. Whether you're perfecting your soccer game or sharpening your lacrosse skills, Open Goal USA has you covered. Visit OpenGoalUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Chapellex is a full-category shapewear brand dedicated to providing women with exceptional comfort and support. We offer thoughtfully designed solutions that blend style with functionality, empowering women to feel confident and at ease every day. Chapellex is redefining what it means to have a perfect body. Our mission celebrates body positivity, embracing every shape and size, because true beauty lies in authenticity. Visit shapellx.com today and join a movement towards self-love, acceptance, and confidence.
And now, back to our show. There he is, Paul Biancardi.
How's that working?
But I'm having trouble for some reason. It could be on our end, too.
Okay.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Just stay put. We're going to do it over the phone. Just an old school phone call. All right?
Love it, baby. Love it.
Best bet. I'm going to call you right now, okay? Yeah, it's tough. It's tough with the stream yardage, you know? All right. Are we still up? We are going to call. Let's get the StreamYard popping. I mean, okay. Rodecaster Pro is up. Folks, thanks for bearing with us. You ready? I'm ready. Can I call him? Yep. Okay.
You've reached Paul Biancardi
Come on,
with
Paul.
ESPN Basketball.
Hey. There he is. What's up, Paul?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. What do you think Rick Majerus would say about that situation?
Get it fixed. And then let's go out for dinner.
Dude, I have so many old school stuff. I was always, by the way, we're talking with Paul Biancardi, director of scouting for ESPN, also college basketball analyst, former D1 coach. I was always so fascinated by Majerus. I never got a chance to meet him. I was around him a little bit when I did some stuff with USA Basketball, but one of the most colorful figures in the history of basketball. What is one thing or a story about him that you carry? I know there's a ton, but anything that sticks out when you remember Coach Majerus?
Yeah, I got so many stories, Pete, and you only have so many minutes on this segment. But I want to tell you something that most people don't know. When my dad died, Coach somehow, some way reached out to me. And if you've ever been through the loss of a loved one or a parent, everyone goes into a shell in a different way. And even my closest friends and family, I didn't want to anyone. And somehow he got through to me. And I picked up the phone, didn't know it was him at the time. And he left some really profound words. He said, look, you can never take away the love that he had for you and you had for him. Of course, he lost his dad before that. So for him to track me down, for him to offer those words, that's the side of Rick Majerus that just most people don't see, that he went out of his way to track me down.
Yeah.
I'll always remember that, and I'll always remember his words. And I've passed those words on to other people who have lost their parents, and
Yeah.
it's been very helpful.
That's amazing, and that's kind of you're going to get either humor or impact when you talk about Coach Majerus to guys like you who had a front row seat. Let's talk about the impact in college basketball and some of these sensational freshmen. It's a brand new day, and we could talk about that ad nauseum. But I want to get perspective from you on this year's freshmen and how they have impacted college basketball. Have these guys come through and delivered?
In a big-time fashion. This is the class that I've been waiting for. Cooper Flagg reclassified. He's supposed to still be in high school. So try to process that. Can you imagine him in high school still?
No.
His ability to turn over a team is amazing in terms of changing the way it was or impacting it to new levels. But the class as a whole was the class that I was waiting for, because when you look at the top 5 guys, they've all impacted college basketball. Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, Trey Johnson, VJ Edgecombe. Those guys have been sensational. They've some nights they've carried their team or they've been a big part of it. But the class as a whole, I think, has really elevated college basketball. It's a transfer game now. It's an older game, but you can't deny the fact that the freshmen can help you win games and possibly championships because of their readiness, because of their talent. And you have to get the right talent, Pete. It's so important. There are a lot of 5-star guys on the board. Some of them have red flags. A lot of 4-star talents on the board. They have red flags. We only rank 100 players out of 500,000 high school basketball players. We rank 100 seniors.
Wow.
So those kids are pretty talented, and they have some tremendous traits, meaning, characteristics that they bring, the intangibles. And I think that this freshman class has knocked it out of the park. And next year's class, freshman class, could be as good or better for college basketball. So college basketball right now is in a very rich place.
All right, before we get to next year's class, let's go backwards real quick. I want to get your take on VJ Edgecombe. What has he done that has surprised you this year? Because nobody knows these recruits like you. But on this big stage, playing in the Big 12, what have you seen from him that you've really taken note of and you thought, wow, I didn't even think it would be that good?
Well, first of all, VJ Edgecombe is a tremendous worker. He has those intangibles that people don't see, those everyday work habits. He always had a good jump shot. I think his ability to adjust to the physicality of the game, top athlete coming into college, like one of the best athletes in all of college basketball, certainly, in my opinion, was the best freshman athlete coming in along with Ace Bailey. But just his ability to make shots at a pretty good level in college, usually they dip when they go from senior year in high school to freshman year in college. I think he's hovering around 36%, and his free throw is over 75%. So for me, that shows me that he's worked on it all summer long. And the one thing that people don't realize about VJ Edgecombe, he's a really good passer. His assist numbers are pretty good for a guy who comes in not as a point guard, really as an off guard, but he can see the game. He can play out a pick and roll, athleticism off the charts, and he gives Baylor some excellent on-ball and off-ball defense.
We talk about next year's class. Who is an impact guy that people are not talking about right now that you expect to make a huge splash on the stage of college basketball next year?
Well, the 3 guys at the top that everyone's talking about, first of all, A.J. DeBonce is going to BYU. That's a game changer. They've never had a player like this in history. College basketball hasn't had a freshman like this in a long time. As great as Cooper Flagg is, A.J. DeBonce is as good, and he has as much upside, if not more than Cooper Flagg. A.J. DeBonce reminds me of Tracy McGrady and LeBron James as an athlete in high school, Pete. And I saw both of those guys when I was coaching. So I know exactly what LeBron and T-Mac did as high school players. And DeBonce has that athleticism and has a big-time game. Darren Peterson is coming into Kansas. I think he's going to wow college basketball next year. I really do. He's phenomenal. And then Duke, again, gets the top recruit. They have Cameron Boozer, the son of Carlos Boozer. And when you think of Cameron Boozer, I think of a combination of Kevin Love and Tim Duncan.
Wow.
Great outlet. Yeah, great outlet passer, like Kevin Love, Bill Walton, Wes Unseld type of outlet. When you see him throw an outlet, text me next year because he fires the ball off the rebound down the floor better than anyone I've seen since Kevin Love. And he has all the fundamentals at 6'9", like Tim Duncan. I call Cameron Boozer the little fundamental because he's only 6'9".
Well,
but
I mean,
those three guys.
That's super impressive, Paul, because you don't see, and I don't want to be like the get off my lawn basketball fan, but you don't see the guys who are so well furnished, for whatever reason, coming into college basketball at 18 years old. It's rare that you talk about guys this young, right? A lot of times you're talking about potential, not polish.
No question. And those three guys have both. They both have potential and they both have productivity. And they're ready-made. Like, they could play right now or this year. They could have played in college basketball, and they would produce as well as Harper, Bailey, Trey Johnson, Cooper Flagg. These kids are NBA lottery picks. DeBonter is the favorite for number 1 in 2026, and Darren Peterson's right behind him, and Boozer's a top 10 pick. So college basketball next season is enormously healthy. And Arkansas has some talent coming in. They have Darius Acuff. He's the best scoring point guard in the class. And Arkansas, obviously, we watched them enough this year to know that they need a little bit of offense. And Darius Acuff Jr. will provide the offense. So college basketball, the NBA draft, in a very healthy space.
Cooper Flagg, you've been on this guy since he was a sophomore in high school. What makes him so special? What does he do most,
Well, I'll give you a little background. His AAU coach, Andy Bedard, played for us at Boston College.
No, okay.
So going back, I get a phone call after his freshman year, and he says, "Hey, Coach, I got a kid who's really good from Maine." And I said, "Wait, stop. Maine? There's players in Maine?" And he says, "No, he's different, Coach. He's really different. He's going to leave Maine. He's going to go to a big high school, and you need to know about him." I said, "Okay, send me a film." So I saw the film. Obviously I thought he was very intriguing back then. He was 6'7", did a little bit of everything well, was all over the place. Fast forward, he goes to Montverde Academy. I watched him in the summertime play with Andy Bedard. And once I started watching him the first and second time, I knew he was special. Got him on the phone, talked to him, his parents, his grandparents. And the thing about Cooper Flagg that the nation needs to know, he's a purist. Pete, he's a purist. He plays for the true love of the game. He only plays to win, and he competes his you-know-what off all the time. Doesn't care about social media, doesn't care about branding, doesn't care about attention. He's an unselfish star who's a great teammate. I mean, if you could make a prospect for the college game and the NBA, it would be Cooper Flagg. He's a tremendous role model for today's player because he has an everyday approach. And as I mentioned, he only plays to win. It doesn't matter how many points he gets. Doesn't matter if he gets the post-game interview. This guy is everything that we would all want. And he's going to be the next star in the NBA. He'll be one of the faces in the NBA in the next 2 to 4 years.
So he's that good. Because it's one thing, to actually, like we talked about earlier, like the delivery of the goods in the NBA is something that's really special when they can transcend it. And Cooper Flagg's a guy, you're playing your flag on him.
That's a nice way to say it. I talked to 2 NBA owners, not scouts, not GMs, 2 owners recently, and questions about the top of the draft. The thing about Cooper is a lot of people say he's got generational talent, and I would say he does close to have generational talent, but he has a generational approach. When you think of all the greatest that we've seen over our lifetime, going back to the Larry Birds, the Magic Johnsons, the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordans, the Isaiah Thomases, and Tim Duncans of the world. This kid has that type of approach. He has those intangibles. He has 5-star plus intangibles. His talent is super on both ends of the floor. Needs to be a better 3-point shooter, of course. Needs to improve his, lower body strength when you're going to play in the NBA. There's a lot of improvement left still for Cooper Flagg, as competitive, as coachable as we will ever see in our lifetime. So it's going to happen for that young man. And I'm excited when he gets to the NBA because he's going to have a dramatic effect on the league in the future.
You're having a dramatic effect on me. You're getting me pumped. How about I want to ask you a couple more things, but you touched on something I find pretty interesting. You said Cooper Flag doesn't get on social media. How have you seen that whole new element to our world, right? Everybody, whether you're working at TD Bank or whether you're trying to play at TD Bank Garden, like how do you see that playing a role in the development of these young men? Does it slow them down sometimes? Does it maybe pick up the process because you get more eyes on them? What's been your takeaway?
Well, first of all, he's on social media, but he doesn't let it distract him. Okay, so he's on it, but he's not always on it, and it's not important to him. He'll take periods of time away from it. So I just want to make sure people understand he is on it, but he's very careful with it. I've seen social media become a major distraction for today's player. They care more about the likes, the hits, who they follow, and it's created what I call, Pete, the one game you can't win, the comparison game. And all of today's kids and the last few years and since social media has arrived, it's creating a anxiety effect of comparing themselves against everyone else. And that's unhealthy because anytime you compare yourself to anyone or anything, to me, it's a recipe for unhappiness for a lot of reasons that we know. There's no growth when you compare. So a lot of the kids at 16, 17, now 15, and even 14 are on social media. And I think it takes away from their actual time alone in the gym, in the weight room, watching film. It's used as a entertainment factor, which we all enjoy. But I don't think young kids understand how to control it and how to keep it in moderation. And I see it affecting them more than helping them. There's a lot of hype and a lot of fluff. And so I have to kind of cipher between what's real and what's not real. And social media makes it difficult.
Yeah, that brings me to my next question. You know, you got the keen eye of a former D1 big-time basketball coach, several big-time schools. You mentioned BC. We talked about St. Louis, Boston University. What about you and your experience there lends itself to like navigating these waters, not only figuring out what's real and what's fluff, but actually dissecting these guys and figuring out who can play?
Yeah, the coaching background really has helped me tremendously to have the right eye, the right perspective, to understand how a player goes from freshman in high school to a senior in high school, from a freshman in college to a senior in college. So that background of Ohio State, Boston College, Wright State head coach, it's really prepared me for this job, which when I took the job, I was coaching with Rick Majerus, actually having dinner with him when I got offered the job. And so I didn't know what it was going to entail entirely. I didn't know it was going to become this big of a deal. You're going to rank players. You're going to evaluate players. You've done it your whole life. Okay, great. Let's do it. You're going to be on TV for high school games. We're starting to promote high school games on ESPN. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You'll be part of the McDonald's game and you'll do college basketball. I didn't think it would be that hard, but with social media and the way basketball has become a huge business, it's become a big deal. But the background of coaching really lends itself to a good perspective. So I don't overreact to a bad performance, and I don't get overly excited when I see somebody play really well. I try to get multiple evaluations, and I do a pretty good job of getting intel on a character, because I really think, Pete, the character of a player can protect and enhance his talent as he moves up as a teenager into college.
Is that something now that's become more difficult with the portal era, right? Because I want to ask you about how NIL and the portal have changed the landscape, but I'm starting to get a feeling that you don't get to know these guys. Like you mentioned, Cooper Flag, around him since he was a sophomore in high school. Yeah, okay, I get that with your relationship with him and also with some of these bigger prospects, but you see guys transferring to schools, and it seems like it's such a short-term courting that a lot of these coaches and programs maybe aren't quite sure who they're getting. Is there credence to that?
No, that's why most programs, especially at the high level, the Power Four, if you will, are going to what they call a GM or a chief of staff or whatever you want to call them. They're coming up with these jobs, roster management coaches, because the turnover's so quick that the assistant coaches can't even keep track of, who is going to be playing for them next, like who's going to be available and how good is that player. And you have to make quick decisions. So you need a staff. It's going to be like the NBA, Pete, where you're going to have a scouting staff and then a coaching staff. That's where it's going to. That's where it really is right now. We saw North Carolina just hire, a GM, because you need somebody who's going to evaluate the prospects, both high school and transfers, all season long, all year long. Then you have to figure out where you're going to get your money and how much you're going to get. And there's, numbers coming down after the antitrust settlement in April. We have revenue money. Will the collective still be a part of it? We don't know. But you have to match the money to the productivity. Because if you get that wrong, just like in the NBA, you're going to have a bad team. So when you're offering kids money, you better make sure that you have evaluated their game and their background, and then offer what you think is the appropriate amount, because you don't want to overspend, and obviously you want to be in the ballpark. The last couple of years, it's been true, capitalism. You don't know what kids really have gotten. Kids have inflated their number. Agents have gotten involved heavily into the recruiting game. And it should settle out as time goes on. I think it's going to go to contracts, Pete, where there'll be independent contractors, and the contracts will be public. There'll be buyouts where schools will get money if a kid decides to transfer. Right now, if a kid transfers, there's no buyout. Like, he gets his money, and he doesn't have to pay the school he just played for anything. So it's going to go to an NBA-type model, I think, when it comes to the scouting staff and also the contracts.
All right, give us a peek ahead to the 2025 draft. What are you looking at, and what is your, the scouting you do for so long, and now it's got to be cool for you to see a lot of these guys, their maturation on the floor and their chances of becoming pro. Give us a little peek into that draft.
Yeah, this draft's going to be one of the best that we've had in a long time. And you're right. When I see these kids in high school and then I see their growing pains as freshmen and sophomores, and sometimes all the way up to senior year in college and with all the transferring. But I do love watching their progress or their lack thereof, and try to look back to their evaluation and say, you know what, he was this way in high school, but he changed. He was this way in high school, but he got better. And it's interesting to see, and I try to provide that information to as many NBA scouts and personnel that look for it. But when you're looking at the top, I think it's a two-player race for Cooper Flagg and Ace Bailey for the number one spot. Bailey, I believe, is maybe the single most pure talent on the board. What he could be someday, we don't know. We have a greater idea of what Cooper Flagg is all about. And Bailey is 6'10", plays at Rutgers. He's got an excellent jump shot. He's a good rebounder, great athlete, and a shot blocker. He kind of fits the mold of what today's NBA game is all about. And he has that profile and prototype. And then Dylan Harper, his teammate, is a 6'6" big guard. He's going to be coveted in the top three spots. And Trey Johnson and your guy, you mentioned, VJ Edgecombe, I think they round out the top five. Tremendous talent, high character kids, and guys that are good to excellent athletes. And then after that, I think when you start going to number 6, I think that's when there's a drop. I think you see not a significant drop, but I think you see a dip after number 5 in the draft.
All right, Paul, where can people find you? I'm going to put all your links up when we trim this up and throw it up on YouTube. But this is amazing information.
At Paul Biancardi on X, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you want to find me, I'll be there.
You can also catch him on the tube, working a lot of ESPN college hoops games, especially coming down the stretch. Paul, man, what a pleasure, and I love how we muscled through some of the technical stuff, and I was delighted to have you, and I would really like to do it again sometime too.
Yeah, let's do it again, and we'll get the technology right this time.
You got it right either way. Paul Biancardi from ESPN. There he was. It was a great conversation, man. We'll be back to wrap up today's show. The Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovaceks, marches on after this.
Dive into adventure with Scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. With over 20 years of experience, our expert staff, who've dived everywhere from the Galapagos to the Maldives, provides personalized advice to help you find the perfect gear for any underwater journey. Shop leading brands like GoPro, Aqualung, and Scuba Pro. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust Scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at Scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com. BizChair.com, your one-stop shop for premium commercial furniture that blends quality with affordability. From ergonomic office chairs to durable restaurant seating, we cater to diverse industries including corporate, medical, hospitality, and education. With over 20 years of experience, we offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high-traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at BizChair.com to transform your business. Level up your game with Corsair, the global leader in high-performance gear for gamers, content creators, and PC enthusiasts. From award-winning PC components to premium streaming equipment, smart lighting, and esports coaching services, Corsair delivers an ecosystem designed for peak performance. Whether you're a casual gamer or a pro, alleviate your setup with Corsair. Shop now at Corsair.com. That's Corsair.com. Corsair. At Mitzi, we believe the right light can transform any space. Born from a third-generation lighting family, we craft beautifully designed, premium lighting that's made to be affordable. Inspired by Grandma Mitzi's eclectic style, we're on a mission to make high-quality lighting accessible to all. Whether you're updating your space or adding a unique fixture, Mitzi has the perfect design for you. Beautiful, well-made lighting without the high price tag. Discover your perfect light at Mitzi.com. That's MITZI.com. Mitzi. Founded in 1910, Samsonite is the world leader in durable, high-quality luggage and travel accessories. Made to the highest standards, our products won't let you down. We give you the confidence to get out there and explore. Inspired by the past, devoted to the present, and built to inspire a multi-generational future, Samsonite is here to elevate your journey. Travel with Samsonite and pack confidence every step of the way. Shop now at shop.samsonite.com. Samsonite. The grinder mentality that Randy and Brent Habert built into 44 Pro runs deep within our team. Every member shares a passion for the craft, the game, and most importantly, the player. When you step onto the field with a 44 Pro custom glove, you'll feel the difference. It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro. At Angel Bliss, we believe every parent's journey is a beautiful adventure. Our mission is to make it joyful and stress-free with thoughtful, safe, and innovative products. Born from a love for family, we promise peace of mind for parents and comfort for babies. From playtime to bedtime, every Angel Bliss product is designed with care, reliability, and a style to nurture the special bond between parent and child. Angel Bliss, creating happy memories, one baby at a time. Visit us at angelbliss.us. Angel Bliss. Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Join us at golfpartnerusa.com and discover why we're the trusted choice for golf lovers worldwide. That's GOLFPARTNERUSA.com. Golf Partner.
Since 2003, Bluehost has been empowering people to harness their brands online with innovative web hosting solutions. Trusted by over 2 million users, we're the longest-running WordPress.org recommended host. With Bluehost, you get a safer, better web experience, supported by the world's most popular site builder, and backed by our commitment to open source projects. Visit Bluehost.com today and take your website to the next level.
All right, the Pete Sousa Show back here after I'm cooling off after that session with Paul Biancardi. Just great stuff. Gets me so fired up. I think that the draft NFL and NBA. It's just so interesting when you get into all the players and where they might get taken. And, he gave great insight on what's happening with college basketball. Before we wrap it up, bear the truth, as always. A part of things around here. And Scotty, a couple questions. He hit us with the flurry. One of them was, I love how he told us he likes to watch analysts eat a big shit burger, which is like Lou Brown in Major League. If you remember, he said, I'd like to give them all a big shit burger to eat.
That's good.
All right, there was a question he asked that we wanted to get to, though, before we wrap up. What do we got?
Yeah, so he asked, and I've asked this question about some other situations, not just this one, but why didn't the Baylor coaching staff recognize Sawyer's talent over someone like Finn initially? I think
I am the wrong person to answer that question because Finn.
I think I can at least somewhat answer this because I think they actually pivoted to Sawyer as the starter pretty quickly. Like, it only took 2 games of Finn being the starter and then that minor injury for them to go, Robertson, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm actually impressed with how quickly they pivoted to Sawyer. But that entirely had to do with dude freaking killed it at Toledo. You paid him big money to be there.
Yeah.
And so he was going to, I know they said it was an open competition between them in the spring, but it was going to be Finn's job.
Well, the fact that it lasted as long as it did, I think, told you everything you needed to know about that situation going into the season. I remember thinking to myself, something's not right here.
Yeah. Great point.
And I was more worried about Finn and his lack of maybe production in camp than I was about Sawyer emerging and ascending as this guy who
could start.
Yeah.
Well, and so I brought up this during the break, and I told you to hold it. So I vented to someone yesterday in a text. I never understood Shapen over Gary Bohannon. I didn't understand Blake Shapen over Kyron Drones. And then I really didn't understand Shapen over Sawyer Robertson when Sawyer Robertson first transferred in. I mean, I felt like there were 3 quarterbacks that the Baylor coaching staff chose Blake Shapen over that I thought all of them gave Baylor maybe more of a ceiling than Blake Shapen. And you said, I have an answer for that.
Well, in my opinion, Blake Shapen was like the goalie that gets hot in the postseason in the NHL. Like, he had a couple of games where he displayed absolute wizardry. And I think that everybody got way intoxicated by that.
I think
it was right place, right time. And kudos to him, dude. He performed on some huge stages, dude. I mean, what did he have, 1 or 2 incompletions in that Big 12 championship game? Or some
in the first half.
Yeah.
He had several in the second half. So here's actually what I like to point out to people about that, because everyone brings up that Big 12 championship game. And he, as a backup quarterback, won the game. So I really do not intend to take anything away from him. But here's what I'd bring up. 1, he led 3 scoring drives. All 3 started in positive territory. They all 3 started beyond the 50-yard line. Yeah. He was already, he went less than 50 yards for all 3 of the scoring drives. Any scoring drive that he had to go beyond 50 yards, he did not score.
Okay.
So that is something about that game people forget, is he was put in really good positions by defense and special teams to go score. And then when he had to extend a drive, he did not.
Talk to me about the Sugar Bowl.
Who started the Sugar Bowl, Pete?
Was it Gary?
Yes.
Yeah, because Sawyer got hurt.
Shapen did not.
Shapen got hurt.
Shapen, no. Shapen didn't play. They started Gary because he came back.
Okay.
And he had been the starter all season.
Okay.
And then in the offseason, they told Gary to transfer.
We're going to go with.
Because we're going with Blake.
Gotcha.
And then Blake came in and was the starter that next season, and I thought really struggled. And Aranda kept teasing we could see Kyron Drones play. And we never did, and I just thought there was almost why not trot him out there towards the end of that season?
What did you think about the kid from Austin who could sling it? He came in. I was calling the Long Island game. He came in. It was so bad for Baylor. The quarterback. He was an Austin kid, Martinez, or...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, whatever.
That's when I knew times were tough, dude. They put him in
Blake Martinez.
Yeah. They're we need a change here. We need a tempo change.
So to answer your question, bear the truth, I do not understand why. I feel like this coaching staff has made poor choices as who should start at quarterback since Gary transferred. And I think now that they have perhaps seen what a high ceiling dude can do, because that's a great quarterback elevates your whole team, right? Then I hope going forward that's not a problem. I think Walker White transferring in sets you up really nicely for after Sawyer leaves.
Yeah.
I'm on the record. Quinn Murphy, this 2026 kid that goes to school with Cooper Witten.
Yeah.
That's why we're in that battle. I think Quinn Murphy's going to be really good. I think Baylor's really set at quarterback for a while. But I agree that there's some mystery in the past few years. And then here, we'll end with this one, Pete.
Let's go.
He asked, do you think Jason could come in as a supporting coach? I'm assuming if Cooper Witten comes. I'm going to say no. I don't think Jason Witten would do that. But I think Dave Aranda has to ask.
Well, I think I'll tell you exactly how that works out. He comes in for summer camp, and he's like kind of like a glorified, as much as you can do that legally. I think, I don't know how that works, but like, I think he probably has some sort of role, whether it's like just being around, you know what I mean? Not to the level that Gary Patterson was named, like a consultant, but I wouldn't be surprised to see
That's a good perspective.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him around camp, but then that would be it. He goes back to
And
coaching.
here's why I'm going to say it's a non-zero chance. I think part of the thing for Witten is his faith is a much bigger deal than I think he expresses publicly often.
Yeah.
That's why he's currently coaching at a private Christian high school. I think that's really important to him. And so Baylor is one of the very few places where if you were like, would he come in as an analyst or even as an offensive coach, I would think he would think about it.
Yeah.
And if his son's on the team, he would think about it.
Yeah.
I still think that's like a 2% chance, though.
Yeah.
It's not a very high chance, in my opinion.
All right, high chance we'll be back tomorrow. We will be. We'll be live from Lubbock,
100%.
Texas. I got TC or Texas Tech in Colorado tomorrow night, but we'll be ready to rock and roll. Everything's going to work out. Madison Hawk from ESPN and Big 12 fame. She called Baylor's game against TCU. She's going to join us tomorrow because she's at the Big 12 tournament. And, we're going to keep rocking and rolling. Thank you very much, Ray and Slovacics. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is stark.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hinomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Sports.
We are Rogue Media Sports.